Okay, good afternoon, fans from around the world. It's Formula One Fanatics, and today we are discussing the impending departure of the Chief Technical Officer of Red Bull Racing, Adrian Newey. And with me is Mustafa from United States and Lerato from South Africa. I'm still Afolabi Olaloku. Good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. It's morning here, but we're excited to be talking about developments in Formula One. So Newey, it seems very clear that he's already left Red Bull, so that's not an issue anymore. But the issue is where he's going. Everybody thought he'd go to Ferrari, but it seems like he's not going to go there. And from what we've been hearing, it seems like one of the main reasons he's not going to Ferrari is that he wants to stay in Britain, where his family is, focus on his marriage and everything like that, and work on. He's comfortable in Britain. If you read his book, he's very comfortable there. He likes to ride bikes, do things. So it seems clear that it's most likely going to be Aston Martin or McLaren, which are the two British teams. Now, earlier I thought he would go to McLaren because McLaren has the most balanced car now. They do well on just about any track. But I'm beginning to second think that because Aston Martin has Mercedes engine, and there's going to be a change to high powertrain in 2026. Also, Aston Martin has what's his name? And this makes sense why Alonso didn't leave, because there are rumors that Alonso was asked to go to Ferrari before Hamilton, and he said no. And I think Alonso had the foresight to see that Aston Martin is going to be looking good in 2 years because they have the Mercedes engine. And in general, Aston Martin tends to do well with high speed tracks and things like that. They have good top speed, and it was just augmented by having the advantage of the high powered trains, which you will see Mercedes and maybe even Aston Martin start to take the ascendancy in 2 years. But at the same time, Newey is a design person, so maybe he would rather go to McLaren, which is more suited towards aerodynamics, even though he wouldn't want the benefit of having a more powerful car. What he does is like to solve problems and his design. So to me, it's a very confusing. What are your thoughts, Biodun? Yeah.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Morning.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you're right. I think we can understand the dynamics around being around family and why Newey might not be joining Ferrari. I think Andrea Newey is the best designer in the Formula One in the world
Oops, he's breaking. Okay.
of Formula One currently,
Yeah.
and how that.
Okay, put him on mute and let's switch to Lorato. What are your thoughts, Lorato? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I think from my perspective, McLaren would be a more powerful move. I also do know that he's been keen to work with someone like Fernando.
Yeah.
So maybe that also might be an influencer to the decision. But yeah, we'll sort of wait it out. I mean, yeah, we had been hoping for this kind of him teaming up with Lewis, which would have been a great team up. But yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think between Aston and McLaren would be the better choice, looking at the form that they're in now, in spite of them not having like the like some. I mean, they have good drivers, but they don't have the best drivers.
Yeah.
But these boys are still in it.
Yeah. Well, I would say that. Are you saying
you're
saying? Sorry to interrupt. Did you say that you think he's leaning towards McLaren or Aston Martin? I think I heard you say McLaren. Yeah.
McLaren.
Yeah.
I say I'm leaning more towards him going to McLaren.
Yeah, but I also wanted to add that Lando Norris is top 3 drivers in the world right now. So I'll say the top 4 drivers in the world are Verstappen's on another level. Then it's between Hamilton, Russell, and Lando Norris. They're fighting closely for. So what I'm saying is that McLaren does have a very good driver, and Lando Norris is a future champion. He'll win a championship before the day is over.
100%, 100%.
And then Hamilton is 40, so Hamilton may have a year or two left. So I think Newey might look into that also. But yeah, continue. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, yeah. In spite of the age thing, I think, I mean, wanting to work with either Alonso or Lewis speaks to more towards the idea of the kind of experience that he's looking for in a driver,
Yeah, yeah,
and someone that I think can use some of
yeah,
these aero control.
yeah.
Uh,
So I think because we know that. So if he goes to Aston Martin, he'll have Alonso, who's great. Because I mean, Newey's people who know how to drive and understand his designs. But so he has an advantage over Norris, but the advantage that Norris has is that Norris is young. So we also think Alonso is 42, and then Hamilton. So it's kind of funny. So everything evens out. And we also want to remember that he's going to take into account which team has more focus on aerodynamics. He's not going to, because Newey he's an artist. It's kind of like you and I. We'll never say that we like neoliberalism just to get paid, even though it can win. So what I'm saying is that I don't think Newey has more pride than to say, well, let me just jump on a team that has a very powerful engine, because that means it mitigates his effect on the team, because he's the opposite. He works on aerodynamics. So I think from a value perspective, like, you know, where they talk about Maslow's hierarchy, for
sure.
self-actualization, he wants a challenge. He just doesn't want the easiest team. But I still think
Yeah,
that even
and when we look at the developments that McLaren have been doing over the
yeah,
past couple of years,
yeah,
building a new wind tunnel and all those things,
yeah,
they have been moving in that direction of really fine tuning
yeah,
the aerodynamics. And I think these are some of the results that we're seeing on the track now,
yeah.
that are showing up in terms of the development
I knew it.
that I
Yeah,
did,
yeah. And it's funny because
especially last year. Yeah,
yeah, and what I like about Newey, he's actually right brain and left brain. So he's not just like a mathematical. He does design. So he's also has artistic leanings, and he's creative and thinks outside of the box. So it's very good. And I think that McLaren has the best balance for him. Although I won't rule out Aston Martin, but I think most likely he'll go to McLaren, because he is all about aerodynamics, and aerodynamics. Right now, Aston Martin is pure power, so I think he'll be leaning towards. But I think we have to take other things into a factor, like how much of money each team wants to give him,
sure.
and how much control they give him also of the team. Because if Aston Martin gives him a lot more control, then he'll go there. So that's good. Let's see if Bjorn is back, but then we'll go to your. Can you put Bjorn off mute, please? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm
No,
back.
Oh yeah, sorry. So continue your thought, Bjorn. Sorry, you were lagging. It's not your fault. Yeah.
Yeah, I've even lost my chain of thought. I think we know the quality Andre Newey possesses, like Lerato said. I think Newey is one of the top designers in the world of motorsport, and anything will be lucky to have him. I think there are conversations that he might sign with Haas, there are conversations that he might sign with Aston Martin. So it's going to be a tug of war in terms of who gets Andre Newey currently after Red
Also,
Bull.
McLaren.
Yes, and McLaren too. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens in the next couple of weeks in the world of Formula
Quick
One.
question: They made a mistake. Haas is also in Britain. Are they in Britain? No.
No, Haas is American.
American. But one thing about Haas, though, it's actually right now it has a little bit more speed than McLaren and Aston Martin. It has a lot of speed. So, but the thing is that they don't have. I don't know if they have money or commitment to some other things. They downforce and things, because we know Adrian Newey is a downforce guy also. So, what are your thoughts, Bearden? Sorry, yeah. Bearden. Oh, is he lagged again? Well, just leave him like that. He'll once he jumps back in. So, what are your thoughts, Afolabi? Yeah.
Yeah, basically, you guys have said it all. Adrian Newey is an aeronautic engineer, so he specializes in fluid flow. He understands the race dynamics of a typical Formula One car. So in 2026, when we're using hybrid engines, there's going to be more power and less fuel consumption. So you need someone of his expertise who can actually balance it. You are having more power, but at the same time, you have to begin to design cars that can take advantage of those changes so that they can be more competitive. Because now they're going to be using a special kinetic, internal combustion engine, V6 kinetic system that actually gives 1,000 times more power than what we're using now. So by the time you have those kind of cars, you have to ensure that, the race dynamics of that car is still as
Afolabi, it's not 1,000, it's 992. Come on. I'm joking. That's a joke. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
So another thing that the FIA wants is they want cars that are more fuel efficient. They want to reduce cost.
Yeah.
One of the things they want to do is they want to reduce cost. They want the ground to be a bit more level. They don't want the richer guys to begin to bring in technology and innovation. So they're going to need someone like Adrian Newey. So my suspicion will be McLaren, really.
I think McLaren also. Yeah, I think it'll be McLaren.
Yeah. I think he has been to Williams before, but my suspicion is McLaren.
So is Bearden okay? I want to hear what he says before I go to the next thing. Yeah.
So I don't know if Bearden is back.
Oh, maybe he's out. Okay, so very quickly, there's only one problem here, and I think this is kind of sad.
Yeah, I'm here. I think I was. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah. You don't have to have video. You can just speak also if the video's not there. Yeah. He's out again. Yeah. Anyway, so what I was saying is that they want to please the fans, so they're now going to add double DRS in 2026. Double DRS plus the train, so it's going to make passing impossible. And people are saying that we're going to lose the art of defensive driving because you will no longer be able to defend. Somebody will just blow by you because they want to do it for the fans. I think this is the tragic mistake that Formula One is making. What do you think, Lorato?
Yeah. I'm the last time I had checked, they had done away with DRS.
Now they brought it back. Now they're going to do double because now it's only in the front of the tires. Now it'll be in the back. So this is, and they said, so you'll no longer see beautiful driving. And so when kids are learning how to drive, they won't teach them defensive tactics, like how to stay on your line, how to give somebody enough space, but not enough space. It takes away from the nuances and destroys the art of the sport. Yeah, continue. Sorry. Yeah.
I mean, I was fascinated by the first draft of, I think this was a month ago, was it June 28th or something?
Yeah.
Or even earlier than that, when people were still sort of like looking at the new cars and things like that, at how they're going to look like and what it seemed like they were doing.
Yeah.
And there was a move towards a total removal of DRS, and more. I mean, what I think I found more interesting about the new regulations was the amount of power that the cars would have.
It's too much.
Balancing between the combustion engine and the battery powered.
The hybrid.
Yeah.
So here's the problem, though.
I mean, what had been exciting was this idea that you would have these manual override controls where someone would just sort of like push to pass to sort of use more battery power when making that overtake, which is an extra level of control that I was keen to see. So I'm not sure if these double DRS regulations are set in stone, and whether or not the teams would agree to them.
Yeah, so here's what's going to happen. Formula One works in cycles. They did this before when they changed, and Mercedes won 6 years in a row. They changed from more of design, more to power. Then they changed it again. I think they're going to continue cycling it year in, year out, but I think it's damaging to the sport because the fans, we will watch the sport no matter what. And a lot of us like to see defensive driving. We also like to see teams that work well by learning how to integrate the engine and do everything. It's more creative in engineering when you have to solve problems. And you can't just use sheer power and DRS. Can you imagine having DRS in the 100 meters for track and field? Oh, now he's 1/10 of a second behind Usain Bolt. Now he passes him with DRS. It doesn't make sense. There is no valid reason. So what DRS is showing is that Formula One cares more about technology glitch than human innovation and talent. If you have a faster car, why should another car have an advantage because it gets closely behind you? Sorry, what do you think, Bearden? Because you've been in and out, but let's hope we got you now.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think there are two and others have been spotted with regard to some of the regulations that are coming in 2026. I think one other key important one was they are trying to introduce active aerodynamics so that the front wings can be movable. I think that is quite incredible. I think as for the drag reduction system, I think that would be active when maybe a driver is close to 1 second to aid overtaking. I think some of the things that Formula One is trying to do is to try and bring the pace of the cars at the level playing field and exclude the use of
Oh,
technology.
because of
Like
money. Yeah.
some of us are excluded. So they want it to be more competitive. They want it to be more interesting. Like the race we are seeing now currently with Max, Lando, the gap is not so much, but without technology, McLaren would not have caught up
Yeah.
to Red Bull.
So
But
here's
having
what.
an level playing field with engine power,
Yeah.
it's going to be.
So you have a point, and the only thing that won't be lost and will never be lost in Formula One, as long as they do this, they need to keep the tires the same and not make the tires better, so that the drivers are forced to do tire management. That's the only thing that changes in that. Because no matter how much DRS you have, even if you pass somebody, if you don't have tire management, so as long as they don't start making super tires that don't degrade, it'll be fun. Once they do that, it'll be totally boring. So I think the tire thing balances it off. What do you think, Lorato? Yeah. Thank you, Bill. Very good point.
Yeah, I think that will always sort of be a point of balance, and I mean there's other factors that contribute outside of the driver, just within the car itself.
Yeah.
The fact that the cars are a little bit lighter now, in spite of there being a little bit more battery. Is actually something to look out for. The fact that the cars are a little bit smaller, marginally smaller, might also mean that we would see more more wheel-to-wheel racing. Because I think the bigger cars have made that a little bit difficult, which is why we have been seeing some of the collisions that we've been seeing.
Yeah. So, and I think those are very good points. Man, this has been a very good show. Now we're going to pivot now to Hungary. So Hungary is going to be next week. So Hungary is kind of like Monaco, slow speed corners, and it's mostly corners, not a lot of straights. So I think Red Bull will struggle a little bit on this track, and I think Ferrari will have a good advantage, but Ferrari has other problems. So I think, once again, McLaren is flexible, and they should do well on this, and Mercedes should do okay. What are your thoughts, Afolabi? Then we'll go to Biodun.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Moose. The Hungarians racetrack is a little bit circuitous, like Monaco.
Yeah.
And there's very.
But it doesn't have as many. It doesn't have as many undulations. Yeah, but continue. Sorry. Yeah.
Not too many undulations. So a lot is going to ride on the qualifying performance.
Yeah.
And I see Ferrari, like you likely mentioned, especially Leclerc, giving it a good shot. But I feel Piastri and Lando will there and thereabouts, and then don't rule out. All of a sudden, I'm happy because there's proper competition for Red Bull now.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Yeah. And you know what? Very quickly, Verstappen should be happy, because when Verstappen wins this year, it will go down in history that he won without the best car, and then people can never say that he needs the fastest car to win. And the way that Verstappen and Hamilton drove in the last competition, Verstappen, pure genius. And he was closing and he would have caught Hamilton. Good decisions. Verstappen and Sainz made good decisions to stop early. McLaren messed up technique. And now the only person who has pressure on him this year is Lando Norris. Because now people are asking Lando Norris. Because Lando Norris told Hamilton a couple of years ago, "Oh, you have a fast car. You're okay. Don't mind. That's why you're winning." And then look what he's doing now when he has the fast car. He can't do anything. Do you get my point?
I agree with you.
He's making. Yeah.
If you look at
I went off of a
Hamilton,
tangent. Yeah.
Hamilton needed a kick off the backside for him to realize that it wasn't the car, because Russell was achieving more with the car. Now that he's beginning to drive better, he's achieving greater results. Yes.
And I think Hamilton's a better long-term, long-paced racer. Like, I mean, for race pace, he's better. But for sheer speed, for one lap, Russell is good. So it's a good battle between them. And I think it's all in good spirit. And also with Verstappen. But I think right now, Verstappen, because Hamilton's older, Verstappen's on another plane right now. He's pushing that car beyond. And I don't know what Checo is doing. Checo is playing checkers. Everybody else is playing chess. That's good. Checo is playing checkers. Everybody else is playing chess. Your thoughts, Biodun, then we'll go to Lorato. Yeah. Oh, is Beardon out again? Okay, so I'll get back to the point.
He's muted, just like unmuted.
Oh, unmute him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my network is really messing with me today.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's fine.
In and out.
Okay, so let's focus. So let's talk about what I was saying, that this is a slow speed track, kind of like Monaco. So you might see Ferrari do a little bit better. Mercedes is in between, and McLaren can do well on any track. And Verstappen and them will struggle a little bit. So Verstappen may come P2 or P3 or maybe P1. What do you think, Beardon? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Mercedes are quite improved with their upgrades. I think McLaren is for me, in my opinion, the perfect car on the circuit. They just have to transfer that perfection to race wins,
strategy,
and strategy improvement. I think Red Bull are in serious trouble. I think their dominance is beginning to come to an end. But you never can see what each team would be looking to bring in ahead of the race. But it's going to be quite interesting. For the first time this season, we are very optimistic. We know that we can't really call Max Verstappen will win a race anymore.
But like I was saying quickly, that's how he's going to seal his legend, because the races he's been winning, like the one he won a couple of weeks ago, he shouldn't win, and he shouldn't have come second place last week. So I'm saying this is a good thing for Verstappen, because it will show that he is more important than Red Bull now, because he's pushing it beyond what it is. What do you think? Yeah.
I think you're right. I think Max is definitely getting the.
Let's give him a second. Okay, so I'll continue.
Maximum performance out of the car.
Yeah, so he's pushing the car. He's getting the most out of it.
Checo at the performance. Yeah, so he has to start getting results, and with the pressure of the start performing and giving them results, because they know they need every point they can get.
Yeah, and I'll say this much: if Red Bull is smart, they will take signs. That's what I think they should do. What do you think, Beardon? Yeah. Oh, he's good. Let's go to Afalabi. What do you don't think so? You don't think they should take signs?
No.
Okay.
What did he say? Afalabi, what did he say? Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is, I wouldn't recommend signs for Red Bull. I wouldn't recommend signs.
Why? Because you think he'll challenge Verstappen too much? I don't think so, because I think Sainz he will take away points from other people. He's like a bulldog.
If they're going to do it that way, fine. But
no, I don't think Sainz can beat Verstappen. I don't think he has as much talent as Verstappen, but he's the smartest driver on the Sainz. They say that Sainz has one of the highest IQs, so he doesn't make mistakes. Checo is not getting enough points, or Tsunoda, but they don't want Tsunoda. They don't want Tsunoda.
Okay.
So they're going to take Ricardo. They're going to take Ricardo. Ricardo is okay too. I think Ricardo is okay too.
Daniel is okay as well. Daniel Ricciardo. I think I prefer Ricardo, because Max is the product of Red Bull. They don't want any kind of competition for Max. Because if you look at it now, if Max loses in Hungary again, the gap becomes very close to Lando Norris, who is second on drivers.
Yeah, but here's the thing: Lando Norris is losing points to he lost points last week to Verstappen. If Hamilton wins and Verstappen comes second, Verstappen will still be happy, as long as as McLaren doesn't come first. Yeah. So is Beardon? Let's go to Lorato. Lorato, what are your thoughts? And then we'll wrap up. Maybe Beardon will be okay.
I'm here. I just reduced my video to save power.
Oh yeah, that's better. So let Lorato speak quickly, then we'll go to Beardon. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. No, I think McLaren might still be strong in Hungary, because I think they really have a balanced car, and judging from the downforce performance that we saw from Mercedes this past week, Mercedes will also be strong up front. So it's going to be again, I think the same kind of dynamics that we saw in Silverstone with those 5 drivers up front, sort of fighting for the lead.
Yeah.
And like you say, Max sort of has the skill to sort of push his way through, regardless of what weaknesses the car may have. But I think those struggles will definitely affect him. I think, I mean, if he doesn't have as bad a start as he had in Silverstone, then we'll have ourselves, then
Yeah,
that 5 horse race. But
yeah,
if he has those struggles, then he can expect to be at best for fourth place
yeah.
or third
I'm
place.
I'm predicting that Verstappen will come second or third, Hamilton will come second or third, and McLaren, Norris will win. But that's just on paper because once we get into the race, things like making mistakes and things may. But I think
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
toss
yeah,
up.
yeah.
I think it's a toss up between Hamilton and Verstappen as to who will come out ahead because I
Yeah,
think Verstappen. Yeah,
I think this is that. Well, I I think that there is that experience thing, or that driver dynamic thing that contributed hugely to
yeah.
what we saw at
And also, let's
Silverstone.
not sleep on
With
Russell too. So to me, the top four, there's very little separating them in terms of talent. So the top four
the
for me drivers are or Verstappen, Hamilton. I'm not saying in any order. Verstappen, Hamilton, Russell, and who's the
and
other one?
Lando.
And Lando
Norris.
Norris. What
Yeah.
separates them are hundredths of seconds as far as talent. That's what I think. So
There's
let's go to Beardon. So Beardon's on reduce.
there's very little.
Oh,
And I think in as much as Ferrari might have been like looked the weaker over the past couple of weeks. This kind of track
this track
that
helps
is
him. Yeah,
also sort of favors them, so we
yeah.
might have
And
a
Leclerc is good with
minute
qualifying. So I think this is going to be the most exciting race that we've seen all year because every team has pluses and minuses, which make them
so
moderately okay on it.
that
This is going
that
to be
sort
good.
of balances things out. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you. So let's end with our building. What are your thoughts based on everything? Let's see if we can get you in clearly now.
Thank you. I think, in summary, I think it's like you said, it's going to be a phenomenal race. I think this season is quite interesting. Looking at how we started the season, we didn't expect it to be this interesting. The build up, the anticipation that we are beginning to see due to some of the upgrades, some of the teams brought in the middle of the season has quite changed the dynamics of the team constructors championship and the drivers championship. It's now a wide open a, competition, and then consistency will play relatively key in the season. I think the consistency of which team performs consistency will be very significant. I think that is where Red Bull now is beginning to suffer because the consistency of the two drivers is not there.
Yeah,
For McLaren, the consistency of the two drivers is there. For Ferrari, yes, we know that they have had their up and downs
yeah,
lately, but just to add, I think Charles Leclerc is also one of the drivers that have a great talent. He's just struggling with the car
yeah. And also,
and
Red Bull has
has
too
to
many
improve on.
distractions. Red Bull has too many distractions.
Yes.
Can you imagine Josh Verstappen and the owner, no, not the owner, but and Horner
Um,
are arguing over whether he should drive his
um,
car, whether he should drive the small sports car, and now Josh Verstappen is angry, and you know that's your best driver's father. Why would you do that? You get my point. So we'll let you in. We have about 2 minutes. Sorry to interrupt, Beardon.
yeah,
Yeah,
so I think it's just going to be an interesting season. I think the odds are in favor of McLaren. I think Red Bull needs to just Horner needs to stop all this pettiness and just do your job and move on.
yeah,
I like what I'm seeing from Mercedes. I like what I'm seeing from Mercedes. I like what I'm seeing from Hamilton. I like what I'm seeing from Russell. I like what I'm seeing from Toto Wolff. I think it's going to. I just hope Hamilton does not regret the move from Mercedes to Ferrari. I'm
yeah.
beginning to
It
feel
looks
that
like he might
he
because
will
for
regret.
and very quickly, I
I'm
want to
beginning to
add
feel
that
that he might regret.
Beardon. I'm still with you, but I want to add that Mercedes has figured out this ground effect problem because when they had high downforce, they had too much up and down. And that's what figured it out. So now they can apply downforce now. And I think that's been the difference. What do you think, Beardon? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Mercedes have. I think the engineer has done a tremendous job in trying to sort out the issues that they had earlier in the season. I
Yeah.
think aside from a little bit of straight line speed power and that they are lacking, I think their car is almost there with where McLaren's car is. For Hamilton to be
Yeah.
able to hold up Lando Norris in the last race was quite impressive.
Yeah.
I know in a couple of laps would have caught up to him, but for being able to hold up and manage tires also was very significant.
And also, we
I think
never
it's just
forget
going to
the
be
job that
a
Hamilton did was
calendar.
managing soft tires. Hamilton managed those soft tires
Yes.
beautifully. Okay, guys, so this is
Yeah.
Formula One Fanatics. I'm not exaggerating. Great show. We're getting to another level because we've been doing our research, studying, and we want you to like and subscribe. Coming out of Lagos, Nigeria, and out of Pretoria, South Africa. Okay, so our show represents another view of Formula One for the global South. We want to thank our fans, and we'll stay tuned because we're going to do a technical analysis for Hungary next week. Guys, thank you very much, and we'll talk later. Okay.
Away.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right.